Now, because people come to the Sarasota area, a beautiful area here on the Gulf Coast of Florida, from all over the country and really all over the world, I get asked a ton of questions. And honestly, not all of them have much to do with real estate. People want to know more about the area, about the lifestyle, what it's really like to live here. Even the people want to know a little bit about politics and things. What's the vibe like here? So in this video, I want to share with you 5 of the top questions I've been getting lately about living here in this area and what it would be like to move here. Hi, I'm Jill Thomas, and each week I bring new videos about moving here to Sarasota, what it's like to live in the Sunshine State, and then I do talk about real estate. So if you've been thinking about making that move, then this is the channel for you. Be sure to tap that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and then please keep on watching the videos. And then when you do have questions, when you want to pick my brain, take it a step further, then please give me a call, text, or email me. I'm here to help. Making a move to another state is a very big deal. I get it for sure. And that's why you've been so wise. You're here online, you're doing research, you're watching videos, you're trying to figure things out to make the best move for yourself. And often, like I said, when people first call me, sometimes the questions aren't always about real estate, but about other things. They just want to chat. They just want to take it all in. Today I had a guy call me and I said, okay, well, he goes, I want to talk to you. I want to pick your brain about things. I said, okay, what's your questions? He goes, I don't know, just start talking. And I said, okay. So we talked for 30 minutes. And then in time, very, very quickly came up with his questions, but that's often the case. So that's why in this video, I want to cover 5 of probably the top questions I've gotten this last year in 2021. Not that they're all exclusive to this year, but I think that this is my main questions I've been getting consistently. So here we go, the top 5. Number 1 question is, how bad really are the hurricanes? I do get this question all the time. And in a nutshell, truthfully, our hurricanes in the Sarasota area really aren't that bad. We have not had a tremendous direct hit, maybe like in 100 years or more. Now, we've certainly gotten swiped, nicked, passed by, bruised, beaten up a little bit, but I've not seen horrific devastation. I've lived here for 30 years and we've done pretty well. Now, the reasons for that, there's a couple theories out there, but I don't think anybody knows for sure. Some people say there's sacred Indian burial grounds there. Some say it's the topography of the land, above and below the water. So there's different reasons why it might be like that. Like it is the way it is, I'm not sure. But that's where we're at right now, is we've been pretty fortunate. Now, the summer, right before the beginning of hurricane season, I did do a video exclusively about hurricanes. I did a really deep dive, and I'm gonna drop a link to that video below if you wanna know more about that. And the prediction for the 2021 hurricane season was we were gonna have a lot of named storms. Now, what does that mean? If you have named storms, that's an indication that we could have been at higher risk of getting hit. But really this last year was pretty mild for us. We always see rains. We saw rains. I don't really remember having terrible tropical depressions or tropical storm. We may have, I just don't even recall that. I don't even remember getting a lot of wind at any time. Could be wrong with that. I just don't remember, but it just wasn't a thing for us this last year. So I will say that we have been very, very fortunate. Now, I say all that, but at the same time, I would be very foolish to say that we could never get hit, so I don't want you moving into the area and then 2 years later we get a direct hit and you'll say, well, Jill Thomas said, I was safe to move here. I can't say that. That would be just a horrible thing for me to predict. But I would say, generally speaking, is the risk of hurricanes worth it to live in eternal sunshine? My answer is, I think yes. But really, in the end, that's up to you if that's within your comfort zone. Question number 2, where are the sinkholes in the Sarasota area? I get this question a lot. People are like, oh, you want to avoid them, especially when you're up north and you don't have necessarily a strong understanding of the different areas and the different towns. You just hear Florida and sinkholes. And so you assume it's happening everywhere. Well, the short answer is we don't have sinkholes here in the Sarasota area. In fact, Sarasota County, Manatee County to the north, or Charlotte County to the south of us, there's no record of there being sinkholes in any way, shape, or form. Now, let me say this though, if we ever get to the point where there is a sinkhole or some scientist thinks that there's a sinkhole, I guarantee that it will only take days, if not hours, for our local Board of Realtors, the Sarasota and Manatee County Board of Realtors, and my brokerage, the company I work for, they would have an addendum out in a flash to disclose the potential for sinkholes, to warn a buyer, because that all has to do with liability and then protecting you. But right now we have no addendum for that. We don't have classes about sinkholes. We don't have specialists that come in and talk about sinkholes. It's nothing. So when the day comes that there is any type of rumor or rumblings about sinkholes, then we're certainly going to have those addendums. But right now, today, it's a non-issue. Doesn't mean it couldn't come up in the future, but today we're good to go. Okay, so here's my one real estate-ish type question, but really there is a bigger picture here. So hang with me. So question number 3 I get is, Jill, how much will it cost for me to be able to be in walking distance or biking distance to the beach? And then they'll back up and go, no, I just to make it clear, I don't need to be on the beach. I don't need to be right there, but I want to be like as close as possible. So what does that take? So usually when people ask me that, they're coming from one of 2 camps, typically. The first one is they want to pay as little money as possible. Like, hey, where's just a crash pad? I don't need something huge or anything like that. So I did a quick search for properties under $500,000, and I covered all of our barrier islands in Manatee and Sarasota County. So we're talking like Anna Marie Island, Bradenton Beach, Holmes Beach, Longboat Key, and then we jumped down to St. Armands and Lido Key, Siesta Key, then like Casey Key, and then Venice, and then Minnesota. Okay, I think I got them all. So anyway, I covered all of those. And for properties under $500,000 today on the market, there were 17 properties. They were all condos, and actually there was a couple mobile homes because there's actually a mobile home park on Longboat Key. And so those are less expensive. And so all these that are under $500,000, there were like 17 of them. Half of them were 1 bedroom, the other half were 2 bedroom, but they were all under 1,000 square feet. And when I say under, I'm not just talking 800 square feet. Some of them were tiny, like under 400 square feet. So these are little places, you know, where you're going to be paying $3, $4, you know, maybe up to $500,000 for them. And then you have your HOA dues on top that might be somewhere between $400 and $800 a month. Some of them were even maybe a little bit less, but I wouldn't bank on that. I think in your mind, you just need to plan on spending at least $500, $600 a month when you've got a condo near the beach. And then if it's less money, then it's yay, surprise. So that's good. So that's our first group of people who are just looking for something just super affordable, as less expensive as possible, and they're good to go. Now let's say you go, okay, well, nope, I'm willing to spend more money because I need like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, maybe a home or a bigger condo. You know, I can spend more money. So I looked up all the properties in the same area that are at least 3-bedroom, 2-bath. At the lowest end right now listed is $650,000. There were a handful of properties under $1 million, but otherwise the rest were all over $1 million and went up, you know, crazy high up to like 15 million, which in case that would have been on the beach. But for $1 million something, $2 million something, you can be very close to the water. Of course, the more money you spend, the nicer the property. And so that's what you're looking at for that market. But sometimes, you know, I still have people who will call and ask and maybe want to just spend $600,000 and they're expecting me to show them, you know, a dozen homes, and they're just not there right now. So that's where we're at. So if you want to be on the beach, you can certainly spend less than $500,000, but it's just going to be a teeny little place for you to keep your head at night. Now I want to share with you a story of a guy who called me, I don't know, it's maybe been 6-7 years ago. It's been quite a while. And I'm using an old story because I don't want anybody who's newer to hear me share their story and then they feel bad. So this guy calls me up, and really nice. He was so excited. He's like, okay, Jill, I want a house on the beach side, not on the bay side, on the beach side, the Gulf side. on Longboat Key, and he's describing this beautiful home that he wants. And it needs to have a swimming pool where it's facing the water. He needs to have a tennis court. Ideally, it's facing the water. So between having a magnificent home, a pool, and tennis courts, and being able to stay within your setback lines and everything, that's a significant size lot. We're not just talking like a little tiny bungalow on the beach. This is going to be, a major property. And he's describing what kind of features he wants in the house, and he's going on and on. And then, bless his heart, he said with so much pride, so much enthusiasm, he goes, Jill, and I'm going to pay cash, and I am going to spend up to $1 million. Now, $1 million is a lot of money. I am not poo-pooing that at all. But even back then in that market, to get even a house that was half as magnificent as what he's describing on the bay side, which means that you're not directly on the beach, you probably have a boat dock, that still would be $3-4 million. He was very much off base on his pricing. But I'm not faulting him for that, because you don't know until you know. So just like people who are asking about properties that are near the beach and they're describing these things, then they get kind of frustrated because I have to break it to them gently about what the market's like here, or what our products are like, what the real estate market's like, what you can get for your money. And that's why I do these videos too, to help you with that. I do have to crush some spirits sometimes, and I try to be as gentle as possible. I don't want to come off, being sarcastic or just rude or something. Because even when I said, $1 million for a house on the beach, even from 7 years ago, some of you guys would know better than that. You probably spit out your soda that you were drinking at the time. So if you do have a dream, if you have these thoughts of what you want, that's okay. Give me a call. I'll help walk you through that. And that's why I say this number point 3 is kind of a bigger picture thing. It's just not about homes, near the beach, but it's just, what can I get for my money kind of question. And I'll help walk you through it and help give you direction on, okay, based on this budget or based on what you want, this is what you can do. And if you can compromise this way, we can do this. If you can compromise this way, we can do that. And I'll help you sort of figure that out to see if in the end our area is a good fit for you. Okay, question number 4. Let's move away from nature. Let's not talk about real estate. A big question I get a lot is, Jill, if I move to Florida, will my health improve? So many people do have obviously health issues. Many people do. And often they think, or maybe even their doctor thinks, that if they move out of the cold or into a tropical climate, their health could improve. And so potentially, yes, it could help. Back in the day, back in the 1800s or even earlier, sometimes just the early 1900s, people came down here to Florida, and specifically the Sarasota area, and began to develop the area just to get out of the north for health reasons. And so that was a huge motivation and a push for people to come down here way back in the day. So there's definitely potential for that. But ultimately, I can't say whether or not your health will improve, because even for myself, I have horrible allergies or sinus issues. I feel like I always have a sinus headache. Actually, I have one kind of right now. It's warm out today. It's in the middle of December. I have a little bit of a sinus headache, but it's just something I live with all the time. Now, also on the flip side of all this, hey, getting out of the cold and not having to shovel snow and be freezing, for 3-4 months out of the year. This is awesome down here, but there's always something in bloom. So there's probably a good chance that your health could improve, but maybe you could experience some new issues as well. So no promises there, but that question does come up quite a bit. Okay, my final question is actually a new question for me in 2021, brand new question. And that question is, drum roll please, do I have to wear a mask when I'm in Florida? Because I suppose in other states it's more strict, honestly, because I haven't been up north too much lately. I don't really know what it's like. So I just go off of what people tell me or share with me, people who are coming down to look at properties. And so they want to know what to expect one way or another. And really, you just do whatever you want to do, and nobody fusses at you. So if you want to wear a mask everywhere you go, then you wear your mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, don't wear a mask. And I don't see people being confrontational about it one way or the other. It's like kind of a non-issue. You just do your own thing. Now, let's see, I'm trying to think. I don't think too many places have mandatory masks. You know, if you're there maybe at the hospital or some doctor's offices, but like my dentist doesn't require it anymore. Like when I go get my hair done, you don't have to. Now, sometimes you can request, like if you're getting your hair done and if you want a person doing your hair to wear a mask, and you just ask them to do it. Usually people are willing to comply with that just to help your comfort level, especially when you're close proximity to each other. So that's kind of what it looks like. But in restaurants, we don't wear them, or you don't have to. Very few people do. Most everywhere I go, I would say probably, I don't know, 20% of people wear masks. If that, I don't know, sometimes it seems like there's more people wearing them and other times it's less. I'm not really sure. And then sometimes when I'm showing homes, a seller will request that we wear masks or even wear booties or something like that inside the house. Of course, very respectful. You know, we go along with that, whatever makes the seller comfortable, because we're in their home. So we're going to comply with that. So I'm not trying to make a political statement. I'm not taking the stand one way or the other. I'm not doing this to get a bunch of crazy comments below. I'm just saying this is the way it is today in December of 2021. You just do whatever you want here in Florida, and that's good. Oh, and it's kind of funny too, because sometimes when people come to my office, like when they fly down here or drive down here, and I'll see them before they walk in, they'll have their masks in hand, ready to put them on. They're like, okay, do we have to wear these? Like, what's it like? And I'm like, no, you're in Florida. I said, welcome to Florida. You do whatever you want. And then usually they just tuck them away and we move on. So again, it's whatever your comfort level is. You do it if you want to. You don't do it if you don't want to. It's okay. Okay, so here are what I think might be my top 5 questions I'm getting as of late. Now, I do get lots of other questions. I get so many about alligators, or how hot is it really in the summertime? Lots of like weather, nature related questions. Those are not uncommon. This last year, a new question for me. We were looking at new construction, and the woman was worried about whether or not any of these communities were built on top of a cemetery. And so that came up a lot. So that one was a little bit new to me. And but thankfully we're closing next week in a new community and parish that's not built on a cemetery. So that was exciting. So I do get lots of questions, but so please don't think that your questions are silly or weird or anything. I might chuckle with you a little bit if you're kind of laughing when you ask it, but certainly, you know, not here to tease you or anything about it. So feel free to ask. And more than likely, other people have asked me already, except for the cemetery question. That one was a first. So anyway, here we are. Now, did I answer with this video? Were any of these questions on your mind? Did I answer them for you? Or do you have other unanswered questions that you're dying to know? If so, put them in the comments below, because that will help me even for future videos on what topics to cover. Of course, I can always go off of what I experienced, but maybe there's something else there I hadn't thought about. So please put that down below. What are your thoughts on all of these things? And again, don't be shy, ask your questions. And as always, I'm here to help you out. Please call, text, or email me. And even if in the end you're not thinking of the Sarasota area, maybe you want to go a little farther north, a little bit farther south, outside of the area I covered, that's okay. I've got great agents in those communities that I can refer you to that are going to take great care of you. I'm in regular communication with them, and I think that you would really like them as well. So either which way, give me a call. I am here to help. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.